Hello and welcome to my video, lesson 1.6 and lesson 1.7. This is reviewing exponent laws and then combining them with everything that we know so far. So let's get started into the review of exponent laws. Just looking at the rules that we have to apply with all of the different laws here. So we've got the I'm just making sure that this is going to write. Yes, it is. Okay, so we've got the product of powers. We've got quotient of powers, power of power, power of a product, and power of a quotient. So what this will look like is when we just try some numbers out, like, actually should pick a different base. 5 to the 2 times 5 to the 3. Another way to write this is 5 times 5, because the first one is squared, so we do it twice, times by the second one, which is 5 times 5 times 5. So it's cubed, and so there are 3 of them. And if you put all those together, well, there are 5 of them. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. So that's why we have a 5 up here. I should have picked up 4 just to make it a different number, but there you go. All right, so going the other way around, if we go 5 to the 3 divided by 5 to the 2, okay, what happens is we put the 5 to the 3 on top of a fraction, and we put 5 to the 2 on the bottom of a fraction. Now, the nice thing here is that those are actually going to straight up cancel, and we're only going to be left with the top part, which is a 5 left over. Or another way to say that is a 5 to the 1. Okay, so 3 minus 2 equals 1. So we're subtracting the exponent. So if you're dividing, you subtract. If you're multiplying, you add. Okay, so I think about this as simplifying. When we're doing an exponent law, we're generally doing a simpler version of whatever it was. So I think of addition as a simpler version of multiplication, because 2 times 3 is like saying 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? So you can explain multiplication using addition. So therefore, I think of it as a simpler version of multiplication. So that's how I remember these rules. So simpler version of multiplication is addition. Simpler version of division is subtraction, just kind of the opposite. And then simpler version of an exponent is a multiplication statement, right? So if we go like this, now it is 2 times 2 times 2, right? So that's how I think about this is, well, if we have a power to a power, okay, then we multiply the exponents. Now, let's show how that would look like. Well, we would have 5 times 5 times 5. That's happening the inside part, but it happens twice because of the exponent. So 5 times 5 times 5. So it would be 5 to the 6. Okay, so we're multiplying the exponents when you have a power to a power. Okay, and then the next 2 rules are kind of obvious rules that are kind of the same as any other bracket situation. When you multiply a bracket, it multiplies into the brackets, like inside. Same thing with an exponent. So an example could be 6 to the 2, right? Could be broken up as 2 times 3 to the 2, okay? Which could be broken up as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. So it's 4 times 9, or 36. But the big idea here is this idea of 2 squared times 3 squared. The fact that we can break it up, I'll use a different color for this actually. The fact that we can break it up from this step to this step is the interesting part. Okay, but just I'm showing all the different possibilities there But just to show you can break it up from the green step to the green step. Okay, and same sort of thing applies if you have a power of a quotient with two different bases. So I'm going to just write it out like this. I'm going to pick two different numbers actually. So I'm going to choose 4 over 5, and I'm going to do squared. So what happens here is we can put the squared into the bracket, so it's 4 to the 2 over 5 to the 2, and yeah, we can just leave it there. Okay, so you can put it inside the brackets. All right, so let's try some example questions out right now. Actually, yeah, let's just kind of zoom in a little bit so we can do these ones. So here's our first one. I'm going to try it out and you can just watch and learn from this one, and then I recommend pausing the video and trying the next two on your own. So pause the video right here if you want to try all three. All right, so let's try example number 1. So what are we going to do first? Well, we're going back to all of the different rules that we've learned so far in this unit, in this course, and we're going to deal with the negatives first. I do not like negative exponents. Let's deal with that first. So the 27 is going to flip to the bottom because it has a negative exponent. Okay, the z will stay on top. The 3 squared z cubed will stay on the bottom. Okay, now what we can do is we can deal with any sort of fractional exponent. So this fractional exponent, we only really deal with them if it's on a number, but in this case it is on a number, and it's a cube root of 27. And then that's times by 3 squared times z cubed. Okay, so the nice thing there is that the cube root of 27 is 3. So we have 3 times 3 squared, z cubed, all on the bottom. Now we can put all of the different things that are the same base together. So the z's can add and subtract the exponents, and the base 3's can add and subtract the exponents. Since this is multiplying with the 3's, we're going to add a 1 plus a 2, so it'll be 3 to the 3. With the z's, I always choose to start with the bigger number, and then I subtract by the smaller number. So down here is the bigger one, and up here is a 1. So I would do 3 minus 1, which is 2. And wherever the bigger number was, bigger positive number, that's where the number will be left over. So we're going to have z to the 2 on the bottom, which means that on top we have just a 1. And then we can rewrite this one more time because the 3 to the 3 can actually be simplified to 27. So this final answer looks like that. 1 over 27 z to the 2. Alright, I recommend you pause the video, try the next two examples for yourself, and then press play when you're done. Okay, I'm going to just go through both of these examples now. So our first step is to flip to positive all of the negatives. So that one was already positive, so that'll stay where it is. The x to the negative 1 will flip to the positive 1 on top. The y to the negative 3 will flip to the bottom. Y to the positive 3. The y to the negative 2 will flip on top. Y to the 2. So anything that was negative will flip from top to bottom or bottom to top. And then all of the things that are on the same level as each other, if they have the same base, will add. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, and then for the y's, we take the bigger one and you subtract by the smaller one. So 3 minus 2 equals 1. Okay, so then you get y to the 1, and I'm putting it on the bottom because the bigger number, the 3, was on the bottom, the bigger exponent. Okay, and last question here. We've got a to the negative 2. That's the only negative value, so I'm going to just move that. And everything else will stay the same for the first step. Okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, let's do this anyway. And then I'm going to come up with one more example just because it'll help you guys with fractions a little bit. So we're going to add 1 plus 2. There's the 1. And we'll get 3. And then we'll subtract 5 minus 4, and because the 5 was on top, we'll be left with a 1. And actually, I would write it without the 1. So b over a to the 3. All right, that's pretty good, but actually I just thought about it and I want to do one more where we have some fractional exponents with letters. So we're going to go c to the 1/2 over c over 3 over 4. No, 3 over 5, and let's just keep it simple. Let's just do that. So pause the video if you want to try this first. Okay, so what we're going to do here is just simply subtract the exponents. So it'll be 1/2 minus 3 over 5. The problem is that we can't find that value directly. What we have to do is we have to do a little bit of work with fractions. If this is something you have difficulty with, you want to watch the rational numbers videos from grade 9 math. So it's like 3.1 to 3.5 or something from the grade 9 math videos. Okay, but anyways, the rule is, in this case, you can just take the denominator of one side, multiply it by the other, top and bottom. So it'll be 5 over 10 minus 6 over 10, and we get negative 1 over 10. So we get the value of c equals negative 1 over 10. But we don't like to have negatives, so we're going to flip it, and it'll be 1 over c to the 1 over negative 10. Probably with brackets makes it a little bit more clear. All right, I hope this video helps you better understand the exponent laws and especially combining exponents. Hope this video helped, and good luck.